But recently, we've decided to get involved in this immigration debate through the lens of global migration. Migration for us means something different. When you are living on the coast and disaster is actually part of the migration trends, you realize that it's not just about people immigrating across the border. It's about when folks are forced to move. And so we've been working with communities of color, in particular here in the Gulf Coast, to get them to have a better understanding about these broader themes and these broader pictures. Most recently, we've had a couple of community events where we're just getting different communities of color to engage in some long-term struggles for full citizenship and connecting that to the current immigration debate.
I understand that there's some groups out there that are claiming that immigration reform is bad for African American people. Why are they doing that, and how do you confront that?
Yeah, I think the why is really complicated, and one day when we have 12 hours to go into the long-term effects of what it is to be a marginalized in a marginalized group in this country, I think we can get down to close to the bottom of it. But I will say, part of the way we present this, especially to the broader community, and just to give folks a reminder, here on the Gulf Coast we have longstanding African American communities, longstanding Vietnamese communities. We've had great communities here from the Caribbean, as well as Latino populations coming in great numbers after Katrina. And what we have tried to do is to explain what it is to actually internalize some of the things that you've grown up with, you've heard about your own culture, your own race, your own people, and how that has a real impact on how you feel about yourself, what you say about your group, and also how you can be manipulated by folks and the one group that we're talking about in particular is BALA, which is the Black American I'm forgetting what the Leadership Alliance, I think. Black American Leadership Alliance, they have a march on Monday. And anyway, we try to get people of color to understand that when you hear these front groups talking about breaking us apart from other communities of color, that's actually false. And that actually comes from not only a little bit of self-hate, but also just taking advantage of people in their situations.
And these groups, BALA, I mean, you mentioned a front group. They are a front group. I mean, I don't recognize. I mean, to me, it seems like there's a lot of anti-immigration groups unrelated to the African American community who are essentially trying to stage this, right? Who are somehow trying to put an African American cover on it.
That's right. This is actually being supported and funded and orchestrated by the John Tanton Network, and you may recognize his name as associated with FAIR, the Federation for American Immigration Reform. FAIR is listed as a hate group by SPLC. They get their money from white supremacist funders. It's a very interesting partnership, a sad one to see from my perspective, but BALA is actually a front group for these, what I would call white supremacist groups, certainly nativist groups, and folks who are anti-immigrant.